Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, FA Well Centers. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about all the stress, all the worry, being overreactive to things. When there's somebody spills the milk, do we freak out or do we able to calm this down and go, you know what, it's going to be okay. We see so many people in today's day and age over and over and over. They're stressed out, they're overreacted, they worry nonstop, they can't sleep, they are not functioning like they need to. And if this is you, stick around because I'm going to go over what we do and things that you can do to help calm down that anxiety today. And this is going to be a lot of education, a lot of information that you guys are going to be able to use day in and day out. But let me know, give me a thumbs up, let me know, heart it, whatever you can do if this is you. And Morris, that is me to a T. Any of you guys, if you've got questions, or even if you've got things that you've done before that help with stress, help calm things down, pop those down below as well. If you need support, hey there in Renee in New Mexico, good to see you. Having a wonderful day. Yes, absolutely having a wonderful day. We are doing great here. So, so many people come into us and stress is a major part of this. They have anxiety, they're worrying about things, they're not able to shut it down, calm it down, and it's leading to a lot of other conditions. If you have autoimmune, if you have any type of digestive disorder, there's a very good chance that that you are dealing with a chronic stress state, a chronic anxiety state, and that is what's causing this. So here's what happens. Let's just get into the digestion piece and we'll go over that. So here's where it goes with digestion. You can either fight or flight, or you can rest and digest, but you cannot do both at the same time. Hey, Sherry there in Nebraska, good to see you. So yeah, pop down below where you guys are watching from and let me know if you believe in stress or not. Some people believe in stress. I try to not believe in it, but sometimes it hits me. So if you can either fight or flight or rest and digest, that means you can't do both at the same time. So many people are dealing with digestion, gastroparesis, they're dealing with chronic diarrhea, they're not going to the bathroom, but every 2, 3, 4, 7 days. There's Asha, she has panic attacks. Yes, full belief in that. I carry it in my shoulders. I have panic attacks and I'm having trouble managing the uncomfortable sensations of anxiety and panic. This is a very common thing that we see over and over. And if you're having this chronic fight or flight, you're not going to be able to rest and digest. So sleep isn't going to be very good. You're not going to be restoring as well as you should. And that digestion just is not going to do what it needs to do. So if you're having digestion issues, you have to look at your brain. It just has to happen. If you're dealing with something where you're not moving things through, where you're having chronic diarrhea, where you're throwing up every day, a lot of times that is because of this chronic fight or flight, this stress, this anxiety. And I'm going to tell you where a lot of that comes from. If you are dealing with low testosterone, so many women are dealing with low T, and it's actually, I see more women on testosterone replacement therapy than other people, than guys. And so low T, we're going to talk about this tonight. If you want to get in depth into hormones, check out my my webinar this evening, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to go live again on TikTok, as well as you can get on the Zoom call as well. And click the link down below there. Hey, Stacy up in Canada, good to see you. And there's Tara just having a serious anxiety issue. Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing this all the time. So the other part is going to be that testosterone. I'm going to get into this tonight, but this is what happens is you can either make DHEA, testosterone, estrogen, more of that reproducing side of the pathway, or you can make your into your progesterone and then your cortisol and more of your fight or flight pathway. But you can't make both at the same time. So if you're making a lot of cortisol trying to keep that body in fight or flight and go, then you're not going to be making testosterone. So if you're a female and you have low T, I like the total testosterone between 40 and 60. If you're lower than 40 on your total testosterone as a female, it more than likely is because you're in this chronic stress pattern. The mountain lion is continually chasing you, even though you probably aren't being chased by a mountain lion. Um, and so, you know, that is a huge part of it, is we get into this thought process where we're just like, oh, I need more hormones. Give me estrogen, give me testosterone, give me progesterone, whatever it is. But none of that is going to fix the why. None of that is going to fix why you're having these issues in the first place, which are going to be this chronic fight or flight, this chronic stress. So let's get into, we know that it can stress the body. We know it can drive autoimmune. Almost every patient we see that has autoimmune is in this chronic stress state. Their brain's constantly going. Almost everybody that has a digestion issue is dealing with a brain thing as well. Almost every person that is dealing with hormone imbalances, especially low testosterone, is dealing with a chronic stress. Everybody that cannot repair as well as they should, they're getting chronic injuries, things like that, are going to be dealing with a chronic stress state as well, because that's when we're resting and digesting, we're supposed to repair our bodies. But if you're not, then you're going to be more likely and more prone to injury, things like that. So let's get into some of the main causes of this chronic stress. And the first one I like to talk about is this random anxiety. So random anxiety is where you could just be sitting there, you could wake up in the morning, mid-afternoon, working, whatever it is, and you could get this random anxiety where it just hits. Give me a star, a thumbs up, a heart, something if you guys get random anxiety where it'll just hit you out of the blue. I mean, sure, you can worry about something when it hits, but there's no like, oh, it was caused from this, or it was after experiencing, you know, that loud noise or whatever it is. There's a lot of hearts there. So a lot of you guys are dealing with this random anxiety, and here's the deal. The blood sugar swings are going to be the biggest determinant of that random anxiety, because here's physiologically how that works. Every time that blood sugar goes down, so let's say below 80, I like blood sugar 85 to 110 all day, but if it goes down, Katie's got that as well, thumbs up there for the random anxiety. Check this out, guys. If your blood sugar is dipping, your body, brain, everything says, oh my gosh, we need glucose. But where do we store glucose? We store glucose in the liver. And then when we need it, the adrenals are stimulated. They tell the liver to kick out glucose. So then you get, and this is a little bit of joy, the hypoglycemia. This is that hypoglycemia. When you go hypoglycemic, you're revving up your adrenals, and your adrenaline's getting kicked out. So then you're feeling this random anxiety. So anxiety is the body's response to a threat. And so here, the threat is that blood sugar is going down. We need glucose, so the adrenals are stimulated, and then you get this random anxiety. So start paying attention. If you can keep your blood sugar stabilized and not skip meals, not spike up and crash down, not if you're feeding your kids, just kind of nibble on some things. And what you need to do is you need to keep that blood sugar as stabilized as possible. And that's going to be a major cause of this random anxiety. Another thing that we look at when we talk about anxiety is what's called the brain map. And the brain map is, we do these in office, and it's certain brainwave patterns. It's a quantitative EEG. We've looked at this for years. So that's Chelsea Belza. Is fasting bad? For somebody with this random anxiety and that hypoglycemia and that blood sugar crashing down, most of the time fasting is bad. Intermittent fasting is going to be bad. So here's what we look at, guys. The brain map, there's a certain brainwave pattern that's called alpha. Heather, looking forward to the brain map. So interesting. Absolutely, Heather. We're going to be excited to see what that shows. And odds are, if you're having anxiety, your alpha wave is going to be high. Alpha wave high is going to be telling us that there is this anxiety state, this worry, this hyper-emotionality, this all of this kind of not able to self-regulate. And so why does anxiety make me nauseous? That's a great question. House hacks. So anxiety can make you nauseous because there really is a gut connection to that. All those old sayings. I've got butterflies in my stomach. It makes me nauseous, any of those things, it is because there's really a gut-brain connection. And when we have this response of this over-anxiety, over-revved up, and it's going to cause a big part of that. So why is fasting bad? So again, Blue Ocean, when we talk about that random anxiety, and it's because that blood sugar dips. If you're doing intermittent fasting, you're asking your body over and over and over to drive some of these adrenals, to kick the liver into gear, to release glucose into the bloodstream. So if that's what you're doing, and you're saying, hey, I'm going to intermittent fast all morning, then you're going to ask your body to even kick out more adrenaline, more stress hormones, more work on that liver. Live clean, girl, trust your gut, absolutely. And so the intermittent fasting for some people, especially if they're pre-diabetic, diabetic, if their blood sugar is not crashing down, they're just high glucose, high insulin all the time, it can be helpful. But for people, most people with random anxiety, most people with stress, anxiety, things like this, they're probably going hypoglycemic, and it's going to be a major issue. Blue Ocean Hunt, I'm guessing you help type 2 diabetes. Every single day, we get patients that go from 6, 7, 8, 9 on their A1C down into the 5s. We see major changes with that. Can you tell me how the Dexcom works? Yeah, and that's one of the main things that we have. So the Dexcom G6 goes on the back of the arm, goes on the abdomen, and you're gonna see it'll go straight to your phone every 5 minutes. Boop, 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 tells you exactly what that blood sugar is, and this is going to be do more of the good stuff, less of the bad stuff. And there is no magic bullet there. In my blood sugar book, I don't have a diet, a menu, a meal plan, anything that says this is what you need to be eating. But what I do have is, hey, this is what you look for when you start thinking about if this is a good food or not. And does anxiety tie into autoimmune disorders? Yeah, absolutely, Katie. This is what we were just talking about earlier. So the people that I see with autoimmune, 9 times out of 10 in that brain map, that alpha wave is up way too high. And they're going to be in this chronic fight or flight. This is why my mom got MS. She was a school teacher, left for school at 5:30 in the morning, got home at 5:30 at night, graded papers for a couple more hours every night, and just worried about those kids and what she had to do, and just stress. And finally, she got MS, and thank God she was able to heal it. She doesn't have MS anymore. 20 years later, still doing granny boot camp. Takes my kids fishing. Doesn't have lesions anymore, and doesn't have MS anymore. So she was able to heal from that. But I would have much rather her not had to go on disability and all those things. But stress was a huge part of that. So it is going to drive this immune system to attack, and it's going to definitely be a big part of autoimmune disorders. It's something we see in almost every single patient with autoimmune. If you are not able to get to one of the Denver, Fort Collins, or Tennessee offices, we can still do neurofeedback remotely. We've got home units that can be used to calm down that brain, get them out of that fight or flight, do some different things there. So Stacy, would a prolonged fast help reset my glucose levels? I'm in the 6 to 7 range the last couple of weeks. I've been practicing intermittent fasting. So Stacy, again, if you are in a diabetic, if I'm assuming 6 to 7 means A1C, if you're A1C diabetic, then absolutely, intermittent fasting could be helpful. But if most of the people on here, hypoglycemic, if your blood sugar's crashing down. The living clean girl thinking my hypoglycemia is not good for intermittent fasting. For most people that we see, and once you get that CGM on, you're going to be able to see that. I think I've experienced every anxiety symptom you can get. Yeah, not much fun, is it? And let's see, I'm 20 miles east of Nashville. Yeah, come on over. We're just in Brentwood. Great office there. My sleeping patterns are all off due to menopause and anxiety. And it may be that your sleeping pattern's off as well. When we do a brain map, we're able to see the sleep wave also. And some people's sleep wave is really high, and that's where neurofeedback comes into play. And we can actually train that brainwave pattern. So yes, menopause doesn't help sleep. If you're having hot flashes, and anxiety can contribute to that. But it may also be that you are having having a sleep pattern issue too. I get panic attacks as I fall asleep. It's horrible. Tried everything and it never gets better. So my assumption on the brain map, we would probably see eyes open, not bad. But then when you close your eyes, the brainwave activity can actually jump up and it can actually get even worse in there. So that's probably what we're seeing in the brain map, and that can be trained out. We're in Tennessee, Chiquiti. We are in Brentwood, just south of Nashville. And has anyone managed to control panic attacks? Absolutely. We see this all the time, especially if you can get your blood sugar stabilized, if you can get your adrenals balanced out, if your brainwave patterns are out of balance, we can see amazing changes. And let's see. What is MS? A little bit of ID. MS is multiple sclerosis. It's an autoimmune disease that attacks the lining, the sheath of the nerves. Katie, teacher, also diagnosed with MS. Yeah, we see it. You guys burn yourselves out. My dad was a teacher. He had it figured out. He didn't stress himself out about it, but my mom did. Denise, I have lupus, SLE. Yes, so lupus, same thought process. Your brain, I guarantee, is involved in your autoimmune, and it is going to be a big part of what's going on. If you can get your brain out of that fight or flight, that's one of the big things that we look at anytime we talk about people being able to stop their autoimmune from attacking their body. You have to address the brain, and this is why there's no amount of immunosuppressive drugs or Humira or whatever that's going to fix it. You've got to slow down that attack from the inside out, and a big part of that is what's going on in your brain. Let's see. My digestion shuts down for 3 days. This was Janet. So yeah, this is what we were talking about. If you are in this chronic fight or flight, your body will not want to go to the bathroom. It'll be like, you know what? I'm going to be running from the mountain lion for a while. I don't need to go to the bathroom. It can slow down our gut motility, so that squeezing motion is not going through like it's supposed to. So we will definitely see some of those. With MS, does that cause random twitching? You know, for some, my mom did have twitches and tremors, some different things, but not all the time. Let's see. Makes so much sense. Yep. I have ET and my platelets have been over 1 million for several years now. Do you see this a lot? This is Country Girl Heart 522. So we'll see those platelets rise. We'll see some major issues. Kimberly, can acupuncture help the chronic fight or flight? You know, for some people, it's definitely worth a shot. Acupuncture, I've done acupuncture for years with people, and there's definitely some calming points in there. Other people aren't really going to feel a difference. It really depends. If there is a fight or flight coming from that blood sugar dip and that adrenaline spike and that random anxiety, probably not. But if you're going to just be kind of a more wound up person, just genetically and things like that, it can be helpful. Neurofeedback is the main one that we work with. Counselor complex, PTSD, ADHD, OCD, and lupus, but I'm reversing all of that in toxic stress. Yeah, Aaron, you have to. With all of those things, I guarantee you those stressors have led to your lupus. Without that, you probably would not have that. Does what I eat affect, this is Charlene, does what I eat affect either Sjogren's or Raynaud's? Those are both autoimmune conditions. So absolutely, Charlene, you need to address your diet if you have an autoimmune condition. The foods that you're putting in. The number one thing that we look at, number one stressor for the autoimmune that revs it up every time is when that blood sugar spikes up or when that blood sugar crashes down. So every time you eat something and that blood sugar goes over 110, every time it crashes down under 85, you are destroying more tissue, you're revving up that immune response. Do you have counselors? Linda, not in our practice, but we can refer out. So Chickadee, name of office in Brentwood. So it is F8 Well Centers. Just look up F8 Brentwood, and you'll get our Google page and everything in there. If you click the link in the bio, you can schedule a discovery call. One of our new patient coordinators will talk to you about the process. If you're not local to Tennessee or Colorado, we can drop ship blood work anywhere in the country. We work with patients all over the world, and we can start this process of calming down the brain, getting the gut balanced out, getting your blood sugar stabilized, helping your liver, all of these different things. And it's fixable. These things are fixable. We see it all the time. Michelle, David, Connery, what do you look for in the brain mapping? So what we're looking for in the brain map is sleep wave, daydreaming wave, anxiety or depression wave, and then the focus wave. We can see ADD, we can see Asperger's, Alzheimer's, we can see anxiety, depression, insomnia, all these different things, and then we can train the brainwave patterns to do something different. It's amazing. Every one of our offices has it in there. If it didn't work, I guarantee you I would not be putting it in all the offices, making separate rooms, all types of different things. But it does. It's phenomenal. We've seen so many changes over the years. So, it's a huge difference. Is chromium helpful for balancing blood sugar? Maybe, maybe not. For the majority of people, it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, now my blood sugar stabilized because I started taking chromium. If you're still eating incorrectly for your blood sugar, that's not going to fix it. Is berberine better than metformin? We get that all the time. Well, guess what? Maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But here's the deal. Whether you're taking metformin or berberine or chromium or cinnamon or whatever it is, you're not fixing the problem. You're not fixing your blood sugar imbalances. And then Tara Kirby, who do I go to for brain mapping? So if you're within like an 8-hour radius or can get to Nashville or Colorado, come in, we can do a brain map there. If not, and you're like way out in the middle of nowhere, then we can even do neurofeedback without the brain map. But if you do live local to a bigger city, there's usually someone we can refer to for that. How did you heal your mom? So I didn't heal my mom. The doctor she was seeing did not heal her. But what happened was her body healed. She took away enough of the bad stuff, added in enough of the good stuff, and her body was able to heal and reverse that. I've told that story many times. Check out some of my other videos, and we will see that as well. So again, the brain mapping tells us if someone's dealing with more of an anxiety state, depression, ADD. 2013, the FDA approved it as a diagnostic tool for ADD. We can see Asperger's and autism, two different things in the brain map. Although they like to lump them together, they are absolutely two different brain patterns. It's a totally different scenario. You can see early Alzheimer's, all types of different things. And so that's a huge part of what we do. If we're not doing that and somebody has all this anxiety and sleep issues and ADD and all this stuff, we can only out diet, out supplement, out whatever so much in that brain. It's something. Lucy, my son needs testing. Absolutely. That's especially if there's some ADD, even teens, 20-something-year-olds, 50-year-olds with ADD, love to see that. Why does anxiety come in waves? That's, again, a big part of that random anxiety from that blood sugar dip, and it just feels like it hits you all the time. All right, guys, I got to jump. Good to see you. Dog lover, you are so welcome. I love getting on. Check us out this time. I try to get on at least Monday through Thursday when I'm in the office and do lives for you guys. So if you need help, need support at all, reach out, DM us through Facebook, through YouTube, through TikTok. Click the link in the bio. We've got a link tree up there, and schedule a discovery call. We can drop ship blood work anywhere in the country. If you're, both Colorado and Nashville are great to come into and visit. So if you're coming, schedule, vacation, and then come see us at the F8 Well Centers as well. One of our doctors would love to see you guys. So anyways, make it a great day. Stay strong. relax, do some deep breathing, some other things, but balance your blood sugar, get your brain in the right state, and keep your body out of that fight or flight pattern. So love to see you guys. Take care.